talk about Mike Boettcher's presentation to JMC 1013 last week, and I had never heard from Mike Boettcher in person. I knew about him a little bit, but I didn't know for some reason that he was a professor here at OU, and I really enjoyed getting to listen to him. So, Amy, you were there as well. What three things stand out in your mind from the things that he talked about from his experiences about, teaching part-time and going and covering news over in Afghanistan part-time, about how he got started, about his video when he was only 22 years old, and how he talked about the huge satellite dish, his experience has spanned decades. What stood out in your mind?
I think one of the things that stood out is his honesty. At the end when they were asking questions, one of the students asked him about how he reconciled the fact that the suicide bombers at Baghdad Hotel, how they actually came for him, and 39 died, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so the student was asking how do you reconcile the fact that that happened? And he was honest. And so it was just kind of interesting how, like he said, he couldn't really reconcile it, or how he can't really make it right, but he was weighing the options of the risk of, would he rather go and run the risk of other people possibly dying because someone's going after him because he's covering war, or would he rather just stay home and not take the risk of that? And I just thought that was interesting. The second one was, I liked how he was so supportive of the military, and he was so supportive of, really an advocate of trying to tell the soldiers' story. And I just thought that was really cool, how he wanted to show America what they go through. And the third I thought was really cool was how in the world was he able to do the Berlin Wall obituary in 40 minutes? I mean, I just thought that was actually really cool.
What do you think about the information that war correspondents gather? How do you think that affects the American public, and do you think it's important to the American public to receive that information?
I think it's really important, just because war correspondence is covering the war, so it helps people realize what's going on, or what soldiers are sacrificing, what they're really going through.
Do you feel like the media presents the war in its entirety accurately and with sensitivity, but they also don't cover up their tracks, and they make sure the whole story is told?
Well, I don't read a ton of war news, but I think for the most part they do. I honestly feel it does take a war correspondent to kind of show the whole story. And I feel someone like a Mike Boettcher shows the whole story, whereas someone else might not, or I feel especially for him being on his own, he doesn't have to answer to anyone. He shows what he feels what he thinks the public needs to see, and he kind of shows the whole nitty-gritty story of it.
I like that term, nitty-gritty. I think that a lot of the war correspondents have to have an innate sense of honesty and integrity to be able to do that job accurately. Is the job of war correspondent important to the media and to the American public in general?
I think it is, because like I said before, I think you kind of forget that the war is out there, and if there's no one out there sharing what's happening, you're not going to realize it. And
I think it's a great point you made about that. If we don't feel like we're in their shoes and getting to know what they're really going through, we're not going to feel the war is real. And I think that's something that has really affected the American people. It's kind of out there. We don't really know. People don't really seem to think it's happening until something happens here. And it's important for us to realize that we have men and women with lives and families on the line, giving up their lives, for us. So it's important to share their stories, definitely.